Welcome to Upstream video series, where we take you through the process of turning plastic bottles into strips and ropes to use in your daily life. This video will explain the preparation of the plastic bottles. So sit back, enjoy and start creating. In order to make the strips, you need the following items: the strip maker, plastic bottles, scissors, a cutting box knife. Before starting with creating the strips, think of a purpose for the strips. This will determine how thick the strips will be. You can check the product portfolio for inspiration. Once you know how thick you want the strips, you can adjust the tools by placing the knife between the washers on the required distance. When making the strips, it is important to pick the right bottle. Bottles can be found everywhere, but try asking for your friends, local schools, churches with the best, cleanest bottles. Once you have the bottles, get rid of the label and remove any dents that are there, because this will slow down your strip process. This increases the quality of your strips and increase the price. Cut the bottom of the bottle. Use the cutting box knife and make sure you do it as straight as possible. You can use scissors to trim the edges to a straight line. A straight line will make the stripping easier. Finally, remove the cap and put it in the recycle bin, while holding the rope maker steady in one hand while placing the bottle over the rod. Place the bottle against the blade and turn the bottle to the knife while putting some force on the bottle. You should now see the blade cutting the bottle into strip. Once you have a small piece of strip, you can start pulling it. Pull it, pull it, pull it. Wow, nice! Look at that. Continue pulling the strip in a steady pace. Make sure to pull it away from you in a slight angle to avoid it from breaking off. In case the strip breaks, put it somewhere safe because you might use it later. Then simply start over. Cut the bottle straight again if needed and continue till the whole bottle is stripped. When the entire bottle is stripped, remove the top and put it together with the bottom in the recycle bin. This is because they can still be recycled and are valuable for the recycling companies. Get the strip and store it somewhere so that it doesn't get tangled up. With this strip, you can now start making products or turn it into rope. This video will explain the installation and use of the rope turn, which turns the previous made strip into rope using the rope maker. In order to create the rope, you need the following items. Consists of part 1, part 2, part 3, a lot of strips, short pieces of strip, a minimum of 2 people, preferably 3 people. Before making the rope, the tool have to be placed in the right position. Therefore, step 1 is to know the length of the rope you want to create. Place part 1 and part 2 with the distance apart while allowing people to move around the tools. We are going to create a rope that is 5 meters long. Therefore, the tools are placed 5 meters apart, while still allowing some space for us to stand behind. With the tools in place, you can continue. To create the rope, one long string is needed that is about 6 times as long as the rope you wanted to create. If you do not have one strip that is long enough, you can tie the strips together. Do keep in mind that a knot is the weakest point in the rope. For example, for a rope of 5 meters, we have created 30 meters of strip by tying together several pieces of shorter strip. Check if your strips are tangled up and make sure it's untangled before proceeding. We can start looping them on the hooks of the tools. Start by tying one end of the strip at part 2. Next, walk with the strip to part 1 and put it around the bottom hook. Repeat looping the strip for the middle and top hook by walking back and forth with the strips. When you have reached part 2, for the last time, you can tie it to the hook again. Make sure there is enough tension on the strips. This can be done by placing the tools a bit farther apart. Now with the strips in place, put part 3 in between the strips and move it towards part 2. All the separated elements are now in place, meaning the turning of the strips into the rope can begin. This is done by grabbing the handle on part 1 and turning it. Nice! The person in charge of part 3 keeps an eye on the tension in the strips. Good job. When the tension increases, you can slightly move part 3 towards the direction of part 1 to prevent the strips from breaking. Finding the right moment will take some practice. While doing this, the person that is standing on part 2 will notice that the handle will want to turn to release some tension in the rope. When turning part 2, also move part 3 towards part 1. Repeat the whole process until the entire strip has turned into a rope. During this process, you'll want to avoid the strips from turning around themselves. For this to happen smoothly, clear communication between the people involved is needed. It could happen that the person in part 1 should turn slower, part 3 should go faster, and part 1 should spin more often. Finding the right balance will take some practice. Now keep the tension in the rope and use smaller leftover strips to tie the knot, to keep the ends of the rope from tangling. Repeat these steps for the side of part 2. After this is done, remove the rope from the tools. Finish the rope checking the consistency and cut off any excess materials to create the best quality end product. Present the finished rope according to the product portfolio for your specific application. You are now ready to start selling the rope to your specific market. Good luck!